I'm sure if I ask any of you or a stranger to tell me 5 games that are first person shooters, there is a high chance one of these games that will be said is going to be Fortnite, Counter-Strike, or most likely Call of Duty. The reason many would include the Call of Duty in their list is not only because there are 24 games and it's been running since 2003, but also because it is one of the highest grossing video game on the market. Well, not as much as it used to be, but we still cannot deny that Call of Duty is a long-running series that only kept upping itself when it comes to the games and the sale, with many people spending their time and money on it. Of course, Black Ops 6 is no exception to that, as many people have bought the game and are actively playing as we speak, while some still considering if they should buy it or not for obvious reasons of 3 digits. I'm here to do just that as your detective by reviewing the Black Ops 6 multiplayer, since many that buy the game come for the multiplayer. While some get it for the zombies and single player, it's hard to deny that many want it for 6v6 gameplay. But before I can tell you all about my experience and thoughts about Black Ops 6 multiplayer, I must first confess a sin to you, my dear viewer. I never really played Call of Duty before. Now, before you tie me up to a cross and set me on fire, let me explain what I mean first. I did play Call of Duty before in my life. My friends and I have played World at War Zombies together at an internet cafe that legitimately and totally legally obtained the game, and I had also played Black Ops campaign before, but I neither had the opportunity to play multiplayer of any Call of Duty game, but I also never had the chance to purchase the recent games or any of the old Call of Duty games. The reasons for that are simple. One is that at the time I did not have a PC that could run Call of Duty until several years ago, and 2 is that Activision genuinely hates selling you games in a cheap price, as even in the Steam sale where most of the gaming companies would sell their old games for the more affordable prices, since, you know, it's old and no one cares anymore, Activision doesn't care if the game is made in 2020 or 2003. The games even in the Steam sale still will cost you 2 digits at least. And God forbid you wanna buy more recent Call of Duties where if you want the full experience with the DLC maps and such, you gotta fork up at least $40 or so to a 9-year-old game.
But detective, if you whine so much about the prices, how did you manage to get the Black Ops 6 you hit it?
It's because since Microsoft purchased Activision this year, Call of Duty is released on the Xbox Game Pass, which compared to just going ahead and buying it from the Steam or Battle.net, it's a lot more cheaper, and at worst, if you played the game for a week and got tired or you didn't like it, you still have a lot of games that you could choose from to at least spend your 3 weeks to get your money's worth. Now, with our little confession out of the way, let us go ahead and see if the Call of Duty 24 Covert Operation 6 is good, and if I have missed a masterpiece of an online game all along. One of the first things that catch your eye when you start playing Black Ops 6 is the graphics itself. Of course, this is expected since Activision is not only a multi-billion company, but they are also purchased by tech dev themselves, Microsoft, making it pretty much expected to have such shiny photorealistic graphics. But not only that, they also made sure that the game ran properly, instead of being a poorly optimized game compared to the other games that came out in the same year and even the same month. When it comes to the core of the game, since it is a first-person shooter, weapons matter quite a lot before the many, since you can make the graphics all pretty you like, but if the guns feel like water guns, there is no point in playing them. Thankfully, the weapons look like, well, guns, but they also feel polished with lovely sound effects and visuals accompanying the models, making you feel like you pick up a real gun. Not only that, the gunsmith mechanic also allows you to customize the weapon to your liking, from making a gun that is fast firing and helps you ADS faster, a gun that is slow but has a lot of magazine and no recoil, or whatever the Satan's testicular torsion is this. But at the end, Gunsmith allows you to customize the way you play. Speaking of that, you can also customize your operator more than just its skin, as you are offered several options, such as your first, second, and dedicated melee weapon, your lethal and tactical equipment, your field upgrade, which is kinda like equipment you get over time that you can use to assist your teammates, your perks, and your wildcards. Most of the stuff is self-explanatory, as you have a primary weapon, a pistol or launcher, a dedicated melee, a bomb that kills, a utility item, perks, which are mainly things you see on many online FPS games, except wildcards and field upgrades. Wildcard is kind of like perks, but it affects your build like a mutator in games and allows you to bend the rules, such as like, do you want more attachments for your rifle? Gunfighter gives you 3 extra attachment slots. Or do you want more tactical or lethal items? Done and dusted. Do you want to carry another LMG with your LMG just in case it runs out of bullet? Then overkill is your card. Hell, you can't even ask for a 4th perk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is rule number 4.
Or carry 2 field upgrades thanks to the wildcards. The field upgrades are mainly tactical equipment, but they have more utility than just a smoke, such as assault packs to replenish your ammo, Warcry that increases your and your teammates' speed and regeneration speed, and there's also another mechanic related to perks called specialty bonus, where if you fill all your perk slots with the same color perks, you get additional bonuses. But I will talk about them soon, don't worry. The next thing I would like to talk about is the progression system in the game. In Black Ops 6 there is more than just leveling up your character for new equipment or leveling up your guns for new attachments, as there are a lot more things to do in the game. For example, there is a prestige system where when you reach the max level in the game, which is level 56, you have the option to prestige, which is simply resetting your whole progress from 56 to level 1. But of course doing that has its perks, as you will not only get perma tokens allowing you to keep one item permanently open no matter your level is, but you also get various rewards such as weapon blueprints, loading screens, character skins, and much more, as you can prestige 10 times before going to the prestige master, where you can grind up to level 1000 for even more unique rewards. Other than that, there is also the option for you to grind for camos, where by doing challenges you can get skins to apply to your gun for free. Challenges aren't hard for themselves too, as in general you just gotta get 100 headshot, do 2 specific challenge that is related to that one single weapon, just get 10 double kills medal to unlock gold camo on your weapon. Not only that, the skins do look great on the weapons, each gun has its own progress, allowing you to have something to do in the game other than just getting the most kills in the game. And you can also get custom sights on your scope by getting a certain amount of kills with a certain scope. But other than that, there are also mastery badges for your weapons, equipment, and even for your score streaks that you can brag to others about how many kills you have on a certain weapon with shiny patches over them, or getting calling cards that you need to do certain, sometimes uncertain challenges to show off to your friends and enemies on the kill cam, while doing all of that also gives you experience, which contributes to your prestige progress. But ladies and gentlemen, as much as I hate to say this is where all the positives end. So as you remember from my confession before we got into this game, I never had the opportunity to play any multiplayer on the Call of Duty series, so I'm not going to go, oh this was better than this in Call of Duty 2003 or whatever, because I'll be reviewing it as a standalone game. But what the fuck? Since we are still at the core of the game, as much as gun gameplay matters a lot, if you don't have good game modes and maps, just the gunplay alone can carry the game altogether. And Black Ops 6 has some of those game modes you will find in general, like Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, Domination, Kill Confirm, which is just Team Deathmatch, but kills don't matter if you don't collect the pieces dropping from the people. You know, simple stuff. But what I don't understand is who in the right mind decided that it would be smart to not only make everything time limited game mode, but also cut all your freedom to choose what you want to play. Let's start with the limited game modes. Sure, most game companies do that with, you know, festive themed game modes or maps that are just reskins of maps and game modes we already have at the core show. But what I don't understand is how the fuck can you call a core map a limited playlist? Like, what is the specialty of this other than it's just a map with random modes, or the other way around? Not only that, you keeping it there as some playlist is insulting, Having it randomly change is also stupid. Speaking of stupid, another thing related to mods and maps that just makes me consider Black Ops 6 is a game run by several chimpanzees running rampant with someone's breast milk is the fact that to play any game modes, you must accept all the maps related to that instead of being able to choose what you want to play. Oh, you want to play deathmatch, but you don't like some of the maps? Well, that's a shame. If you want to play that, you gotta put all the maps in rotation or you won't play it. It's the same as me just going to a burger store and asking for no pickles or veggies in my burger only to be told that I either have to buy it with all the ingredients or I can just fuck off. But oh, the problems with core though. And just there yet, and we still haven't really gotten into the game. Now let us talk about the final component of the core gameplay, the maps. I'm not even gonna cut corners with this one, the maps just genuinely suck ass. Like, there are 23 maps in this game and I genuinely cannot count more than a few that I had tolerated through my session with Black Ops 6. Let alone tell you the names of the maps. In a visual manner, most of the maps don't have personalities themselves, like oh look, it's an abandoned trainway station, or oh look, it's an abandoned military base in the desert with destroyed stuff, or oh look, it's an abandoned something with destroyed stuff. You see what I mean at this point? The maps just feel hardly something interesting that you want to play, except for Gala, Nuketown, and maybe Hacienda. But other than just the looks, in a technical manner, the maps genuinely feel wrong. Like, the way I feel like this game is wrong is that the game has omni movements, right? You know, rush however you like, dive, crouch, slay, lay down in any direction, whatever. So the game maps should be more open and bigger for you to be able to utilize something you have been advertising all over the internet. And the maps are not fit for that at all. The maps either are so small that you can't do anything but run and die within few seconds because the maps are so small, or the maps are so big that there is no point to use omni movement since maps are so open that you just end up being shot by someone camping or get shot by somewhere else. The spawns are also another big issue, as for some damn reason the game really loves to suddenly throw you to the other side of the enemy spawn to have you get killed for free points, but also sometimes spawn you in such stupid places that you also end up just dying several times for free because the game doesn't know if you spawn close to enemies, you'll just die. Oh, also not to mention, there is nerfs to your experience, so playing your favorite map or game mode also can mean you are simply nerfing yourself for not playing the maps that the dev wants you to play, so that's there too. Another thing that is kind of my opinion is that even though we have all these perks and all these field upgrades, kill streaks that give you huge opportunities in certain situations or help you get a better chance of winning your game is, well, pointless. Allow me to elaborate on this on two sides, like technical and player side. Technically, the score streaks are not only too high simply because you need at least 4 kills before you can even have the lowest one, but it also feels like randomly placed that it does not make sense. For example, UAV and CAV lasts just 20 seconds to let your teammates see the enemies, right? To get both, you need to get 7 kills or kills mixed with miscellaneous like collecting tags or doing headshots to achieve that, but 75% of the time that UAV won't last longer than several seconds, as most people run a launcher with their loadouts, and even if they don't, they could simply just get a SAM turret that could get rid of both streaks and still have enough rounds for 2 more as it just costs 5 kills. Even if let's say you get a 7 kill streak, the options you have are pretty useless. Almost all of them can be countered with a launcher or any kind of weapon, while getting higher kill streak is hardly achieved by you or anyone. The highest kill streak I saw someone use was Harp, and that's it. No chopper gunner, no dreadnought. Hell, I have never seen anyone use anything about the Watchdog Hilo, because no one gets enough kills or points to be able to reach there in the first place. And not only that, the utility score streaks should be more of a stacker. You know, to give the idea that you get score streaks that are strong by using score streaks that assist your friends as you all build it together to destroy the thing. Except they simply nerfed that and made that a kill gives you 5 fucking points from 15, making running anything that helps your team even pointless. Not to mention other weird choices like sending a singular rocket with 3 mini ones cost more than napalm bombing, carpet bombing, and also almost equal to getting a fucking chopper that guns people down. This also kind of applies to the perks and field upgrades, as there are many, but only a few make some changes that have utility you can use rather than just a gimmick. Flat jacket, tech mask, maybe scavenger and gun hoe, and the whole fucking blue shot for some goddamn reason. But there's also another thing called the specialty bonus, where the premise is simple. Choose 3 perks that are the same color and you get extra bonuses, such as if you get like all red, you get Enforcer, which when you kill someone you get health regeneration and speed boost. Or if you use all green, you get boost to objective related points and deploy your field upgrades faster. Or you could get all blue, which has mostly useful perks like allowing you to not be located by UAV or radar ping, have increased radar, not be affected by CAV or scramble, but on top of that, you can have your HUD highlight enemies that you can't see, have your kills leave no skull marks on the enemy map, and also you pretty much get wall hacks. You see what I mean? Even though it has been nerfed heavily with less and less time for you to see through the walls, or someone needs the ADS at you to be able to be indicated by the HUD, it is still good enough for many to not bother with other options. The same goes for field upgrades. There are 11 field upgrades, but the only ones I see being used are like Trophy System, Scrambler, and Spring Mine, because others are more gimmicky than actually useful. And then there's also the player side of this problem, which people don't care about this stuff. Only people who use their score streaks or field upgrades are people who are aware of this kind of stuff and run the meta, or they just simply want to do it just so they can get some experience from daily, as most just care about respawning, killing a few and just dying instead of focusing on helping their team with items or play the objectives, as they care about kills than if they won the match or not by helping their objective. Alright, now that I have talked about the flaws of the game, I also want to leave a small space for the flaws that the players have before I talk about the flaws of the publisher, which compared to the 2 I talked about is minor, but still rather affecting your gameplay as much as the other 3. The players of this game are... the best way to say is either hit over the head a little too many times, or they think they are the next esports legend even though they are not. Why do I say that? Because half the lobby I find myself in is either filled with people who do their best impression as a worm with a Glock 17 by simply laying still somewhere and camping for the whole day at the same spot. Even if you kill them, they will come back there to camp like a worm. Or the whole enemy team is made of esports team that use the meta weapons and do most toxic shit just to get that 0.01 extra KD from spamming thermals and smokes to just spawn camping in general. Of course, some lobbies are fun because not only your players are random, so are the enemy team, making the match more fun and exciting since you can't tell who is going to win. Or there's people who actually use their voice chat or text to talk. It's not even funny that the only people I see using their voice or text chat are people who don't have their mics on the press to talk, or people just being what I call lame toxicity, where they just say GG easy and that's it. It feels like I play against the bots and that's their response to everything. Like, they win, they still say GG easy, they lose, they still say GG easy. It's just like, come on. There are better slurs or insults you can do. You can do a better trash talk than that. Come on. Oh wait. Never mind, you are actually not allowed to say bad words in a game where you shoot, kill, explode, dismember, and execute human beings in a maturated game. Very cool. And here we are. The last part that I would like to talk about is Activision's flaws. And oh boy, there is a lot for me to talk about. Let's start with the ones that affect you, such as the netcode. For some reason, whenever you play, even with a high-speed internet, you will see these little bastards popping up on the side of the screen talking about packet loss or packet burst, and it will be there for some reason. And why, you may ask? I don't know. Probably the fact that everything is online and the servers are pretty much not made for this, affecting a lot of people's experience. And there is also another problem that if you play core, the TTK is pretty inconsistent. Sometimes you will shoot someone a few times and kill them as you shoot, and then sometimes you dump a mag and then they will die, and sometimes you get shot many times and your enemy drops that before you, even if you use the same weaponry. Some call these ghost bullets, that the game manipulates your shots to not register, which does sound more like conspiracy, but at the same time they try to gaslight people into thinking it was just a usual bug, only to get community noted by the players themselves that it's, as I said, related netcode and servers being asked, not related to graphics. $1 billion company, by the way. You could of course turn that around for yourself like I did by playing hardcore, since most of these weapons only require a bullet to kill in hardcore mode, making such bullshit to have less chance of happening, but of course you will be kind of sacrificing your KD for it. Speaking of your KD, there's another thing that heavily affects your game, which is SBMM, the pain of many's ass. The best way to explain what SBMM is, it's pretty much an algorithm where the system checks how many kills you have, how many times you die, and other skills to kind of put you in the same category as the others. And this system is in other games too, which I am fine with in ranked play, because at the end you are playing for something to gain or lose, which in this case your rank, and for its rewards. So you want to play with people that are in the same skill gap to, you know, play a fair game. What I am not fine with is that you put that piece of shit in casual matches, where there is simply nothing to win or lose, yet you simply turn every game into ranked match, making having the ranked mode pointless in the first place. And it doesn't take long for it to happen too. You just get one match where you go above 1.5 KD and watch the rest of all the matches you play turn into the most disgusting and sweaty lobbies until your KD drops down, and only for the game to maybe throw you a bone of easy match, only for the same circle to go on over and over again. At that point the system feels a lot more like it was made to work like a casino than as a way to keep the games fair. You can't put your finger on it, but the more matches you play, you start to see some patterns, like the system constantly tries to keep you away from winning too much, but also it keeps you away from losing too much. It's hard to explain, but it's like something that you know when you experience it. And what's this? Let's say you enjoy the system and playing ranked to have something to gain, like, I don't know, a cool skin, or to brag about few people that care about your rank on the internet. Even then you get shafted, as ranked play is filled with cheaters. As higher you go up in ranks, more you will be seeing this, making it also painful and pointless, as anti-cheat system Ricochet doesn't work at all for cheaters, while you can just get shadow banned for saying a bad word or having a cheater toxic player decide to spam report you. But outside of these major problems that pretty much affect you if you play the game, some issues don't affect you that much if you just jump and play casually, but when you pay attention to them, it genuinely pisses you off. And one of them is the way the game monetizes itself. and the way it makes sure that you see it. The game itself costs $70 to buy, and let's say $100 if you got the Black Cell edition for, I don't know, you got more money to spend than usual, I guess. You think that this is some kind of a deluxe cock and balls edition that most of the games do these days, that gives you like some skins and stuff like season pass, and you just won't need to order this ever again. Nope, you just have to buy Black Cell every new season that they release, which might cost you an additional $120 if you get from the start to season 6, making it up to $220 without adding any skins or any code points. They also pretend to show this is an advantage, like, oh look, you get an XP boost if you constantly purchase the Battle Pass Ultra. It's not even worth it. They don't even give you an XP boost now to make sure you buy the next one. And I'll be honest, if you play just for the camos or just to get in there and shoot some people, you wouldn't even need this. Even if you wanna like Prestige Master and you think that this little boost could like, you know, give you advantage. I have played the game for 90 hours and I'm already done with Gold and Diamond camo challenges and halfway done with Prestige 5. So if you just do camo grinds, badges, and be active in the double XP weekends, you will get more than just paying for tiny convenience. There's also like getting extra rewards on events or at the battle pass, but the thing is, it's not even worth the skins you get, at least so far. So the only reason you would get Black Cell is that you want the battle pass items but you don't have enough time, so you get it for like 20 tier skips and special skins for the sake of it. But speaking of events, their hunger for getting their hands in your pocket doesn't end there with just the little battle passes or having like VIP battle pass for $20. They also have what I like to call a skip the grind cards that you could just purchase. Most of the new guns are tied to events, and most of the events have an absurd amount of requirements for you to do, like getting tons of experience, getting 60 billion kills, and etc. Making sure that it will take you or the community a long time before you can unlock all the rewards in the event. Except the last one where they accidentally gave thousands of points to everyone, making everyone get the sniper rifle and the rest of the event items without doing a single thing. But funnily enough, for some reason, at the same day of the event, Activision releases a bundle with the event weapon and its blueprint for 1,800 COD points. Surely that doesn't mean they purposely make these events difficult just so they can sell these bundles to content makers or people with no time to do the event. I wonder. There's also the fact that Activision purposely tries to lure you into their store by putting that big old free item under their store tab, making you go through all those skins to catch your eye, like showing a shiny one to a pro before you get to the free item, which is just a double XP token for 15 minutes. 30 minutes if you're lucky. Oh, not to mention that the game has clear AI usage for its products to the point it has slipped to the market items itself. You can say it just, you know, decals or loading screens. Who cares about such things? Only if you were right about it just being decals and loading screens. But other than that, I really don't care that much about the skin, since many have a problem with the game being too unrealistic. Yeah, sure, they are silly and goofy and not fitting for the game. It's advertised as some, you know, gritty Hollywood meal sim, but seeing silly skins isn't a real problem to me because it's their game after all. They can do whatever they want. Long as they don't cost a damn arm and leg, which in most cases it does, and you gotta buy bundles and not the ones you want, which I didn't expect any better from a company that did all these things that I already listed. So in conclusion, Black Ops 6 multiplayer is not a bad game, as it offers you quite a lot of options in the ways you can play the game, has a lot of things that you could do from camos to challenges, while still offering a pretty looking optimized game. But sadly, even though core gameplay feels nice, the problem with servers, restrictive options when it comes to playing your favorite modes, and corporate greed has turned this game unbearable mess. If you're not grinding camos or making content on this game, there isn't any real reason for one to stay, which at the time I'm recording this video seems to be the case. And there is no way to revert this unless Activision listens to its customers and be more open to them about AI usage and SBMM than just listening what their wallets tells them to. So until that happens, Black Ops 6 is not worth the $70, let alone be worthy of $100 or even its 25% discount price, which for a game that came out 2 months ago, it's a sign of desperation for more gamers. But if you still think of buying this game, or think that I bullshit you, which then why have you watched till the end? The first is that you don't need to pay $70 for this game to try it yourself. There are free trial weeks that you can get in to see for yourself without paying a penny, or if you're using Xbox or PC, please get a month of Xbox Game Pass subscription, as compared to buying it for $70. Not only that you get the game, but you also get other games when you get shadow banned from the game for no reason or just don't like Black Ops 6 after trying, so you will get your money's worth in another way. And 2 is this is not a game you can play forever. As soon as it completes its season 6, they will pretty much abandon the game together and do anything to make sure that you buy the next one. And anything you buy here has a 99% chance of being stuck in here forever, so think of that before you get some bundles from there. And this is the end of it. Thank you all so much for watching, as this case took a bit too long than I expected. Not that this game is super deep or anything, but more like seasonal depression bit me in the ass harder than I would like, and I still try to figure out how to make my videos sound better. But at the end, I hope you enjoyed the video and helped you decide on this game. Will I check zombies in campaign? If you guys would like to, I would be happy to, so let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe for me to continue making content. And with that, I'll see you on the next video. Happy New Year!